and this is our plan of attack.
Banks have become an essential threat to our democracy. So consider this justice.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported radio station on the internet. Please help support this station so this battle can continue forward. Revolution Radio!
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, fingers and or toes often go cold, arms and or legs often go to sleep, sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe, short walks cause cramping or pains in legs, memory is not as good as it used to be, ankles swell late in the day, chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Insanity runs in my family. Practically gallops.
No stems, no seeds that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is.
This is the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life. Wow, man.
Fire it up, Holmes!
Why don't you get a job, Spicoli?
What for?
You need money.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Welcome and thanks for tuning in to Revolution Radio. And now it's time for that feral hippie herself, an infotartic, esoteric, eclectic mix of the adventures of that feral hippie, Miss Mona Radler.
What are you people? On dope?
That was my skull! I'm so wasted!
Make a move and the money gets it.
Dave's not here.
All right, Mona, it's all yours. Take it away.
Time in a bottle. Nope, time here and just here. Yeah, I'm still listening to my promo. I don't know if you can hear it or not. But welcome. We're here at freedomslips.com, revolution.radio, and cosmicreality.net. Dave is not here. That's right. So, I was supposed to have a guest, but my guest hasn't shown up yet. So I guess I am going to wing it if he comes on at all. We'll see. Yeah, see, that's a 50-50 chance. It could be a female. So while we're waiting, don't forget we're listener supported. Do us the donate click, the donate click, the donate click. There are special deals. I don't know if Mike put them in chat here or not. But the seed packs are good. Time to get the seed packs. I just don't see it. I see Monkey's offer, but that's a whole different thing. Okay, and come to the home page or the chat and click an ad. That helps. If you can't send money or things like that, let's see. Yes, I don't see it. Yeah, because there are some silver coins going around. Now I got some of the old ones, which are really good. So I'm sure the new ones are just as good, if not maybe better, but we don't know that, as I haven't gotten a new silver coin token, whatever it is. Yes, so if you're listening, Mike, stick it in chat for me, won't you please? He had a great weekend deal. Yeah, he had silver and seeds and all that. But you can also help us by Archives. Help Archives pay for itself for all the thousands of listeners that want to or need a past show or not can get them. Yes. Help us out, hook us up, make sure we are going good. So, alrighty then. I guess somebody did forget. So what I will do is post these so I can get them off my page. Just so I can get him off my page. And in case he does show up, then I guess I've already done that. So there's that. I wonder if it's going to be too much. Everything's changing. Second day in a row I've had to log in. I've never had to log in. Who shut down my computer? Who did the cleanup that I didn't ask for? You know, when you do the CC cleaner, it takes away all your doohickers, your logins and that. And, I mean, somebody's been messing with my computer and nobody's been here at the house for it. So that's just really interesting that they're even doing that. I mean, oh gosh. So who's at my computer? I thought this was my toy, not somebody else's toy. Oh, so they can just come in here and do whatever. Yep. But hey, what else can I do about it? Not much. Okay, so I think that has been done. Let's see. Just 'cause we got to stop a lot of this stuff that's being used against us. So it is. Okay, I got all three. What's this one? Did I get this one? It looks like I did. So now they're going to put 5G powered Wi-Fi on UK trains. Like you need more Wi-Fi and 5G powered. This could be some happier train commuters. There could be some happier train commuters in the UK thanks to a partnership between rail operator First Group and Blue Wireless that will bring 5G powered Wi-Fi to board trains. So there's going to be no way, no how that you can get away from this crap. The partnership will be the first use of 5G technology for railway systems that the UK will not only improve customer conductivity, which I don't believe. No, it's not. Connectivity. But supposedly will support the railway infrastructure. First Group's rail division will be an exclusive supplier of the Blue Wireless system. And what if you don't want to be there? I guess you're still going to be there. I mean, oh my gosh. So, makes no sense to me. You have all this Wi-Fi radiating through your body. It includes Network Rail, the Department for Transportation of Cultural, Media and Sport. They will also go away towards UK government ambition of improving connectivity on board trains to deliver 1 Gbps's to each train, which I don't know what IGBPS is. Let's see, working with Blue Wireless for the last several years to develop a 5G train or trackside to train solution that would overcome the coverage limitations of 4G that makes it difficult to provide Consistent broadband connectivity on fast-moving trains. Interesting. Hugh Clancy's director said, I'd like to thank the many suppliers and partners who are making this project successful for melting your citizens' brainwave cells and body parts. The Blue Wireless 5-track train-to-train system is deployed in millimeter wave spectrums in the 57 gigahertz to 71 gigahertz band and are designed for high-speed transport applications. The technology creates a moving point-to-point connection of 1 Gbps per antenna. With multiple antennas, the system achieves multi-gigabit speeds. The Blue Wireless technology is also used in fixed wireless access FWA 5G use cases. Now, is that a case that it's contained in, or is it a case of law, or is it a case of some other situation? I mean, what kind of case are you talking about here? For the first group, the company has developed an end-to-end system that compromises not only the 5G radio system, they're calling it, with low-powered small radios, but the accompanying trackside networking, new poles and mounts for on trains and by the tracks, as well as developed new deployment methods. And they're trying to connect the autonomous vehicles too. Now they do have a thing here that says, of course they're going to take me off the page. But this is, oh my gosh. This is just getting outrageously dangerous. Yep, there's the UK's major, launching 5G test networks of the cars. So no matter where you just try to go, you're going to be surrounded by this crap. Like, what the heck sense does that make? I don't want all this crap. And it's just the corporations who think they can get away with it. Oh, because we're going to sell you on it. I mean, does anybody remember what it's like to boil water instead of water just coming straight out of the tap? And we've lost so much of the humanity of reality that I'm amazed we've made it thus far. I really, really am. Yes. Okay. Just because things are just getting too much sometimes, that we've just really let our, yes, they are tied together. Yep. 5G taxi tie-up. That's part of the whole thing about the autonomous vehicles in the 5G. Oh, it's got to be a video. What a drag. Let's see. Because it's saying the LED lights. Now, I remember. I wish I would have wrote that down. The day that I read that article. Because you never know if these articles are going to stay or not. Okay, so there is no... Is that the sidebar? Nah. No, that must be dirt on my screen in that one spot. So yeah, this is really scary that I don't even like driving with the lights at night because of the LED because of the LED doohickers, you know. Okay, after everything, 2 eagles is a $20 donation, but that's a pretty as much as any donation. Huh. Oh, that's right, because of shipping and everything else like that. Okay. So, unfettered donations necessary or needed. So, well, I guess, It was just one of those things that I thought I was going to have a guest today. But that's just the way it goes. Yep. Whoops. Yes, where else do I want to go? Because a lot of it I'm getting from overseas, but what's happening around here is a good question. I'm sure more of the same. Yeah, let's see how much, let's see. Yes, I don't apologize, but I will say, yeah, I can't type and talk at the same time. I try my best. So, yeah, so many things need to be taken care of. Yep, it's a shame that's a video. Oh. Because I'd really like to have, yeah, well, I might do that one. Yeah, so you think you're going to have somebody join you, and it just, let's see. Pisces in the moon. Okay. Now this kind of floored me, because I only can consider how plants grow. Only because I basically know a whole lot about horticulture. After you have the horticulture business for as many years as I had it, you know a little bit about it. Now, Berkeley has designed bacteria, the end of fertilizer. Scientists build novel microbe that lets us reimagine how we grow food. Now, I can see that there were some things that maybe didn't give me the whole outcome of it, but this just doesn't make sense to me. No, I'm not paying you 99 cents to join you for 3 months of digital access. Does that mean you're going to not let me have it now? And because I don't use my debit card for anything of that nature. Oh, it did. It took the article away. Ah, that is too funny. Oh, I mean, I apologize. I really do, but not really here. Where is it? Berkeley's designer bacteria. That's what I want. Please let me have that. Because that's just genetically altered. Oh, nope, it's not going to let me do it. It is not going to let me do it. Not unless I pay. So, East Bay Times, foo on you. Foo on you. Yeah. Creep mofo. Come on. So, I wonder if I could Google it, if it would, because I just don't see it. I mean, think of Botox. Oh, as I put, here, let's see how you can just screw everything over because you altered this bacteria or gene or DNA, which they do with the Wi-Fi. Don't walk through the airport scanners. It's seriously not good for you. No, it unzips your DNA and genes, man. Do you really want that? You want your body torn apart from the inside out? And then you wonder why you can't sleep and other stuff like that? Jeez. All right, now this one's not coming up any, you got to pay me to read it kind of thing, so that's cool. Technology, a brewing problem. What's the healthiest way to keep everyone caffeinated, it says. Now it's showing a picture of these individual cups in the canister that is covering the world. You know, those little tiny single cups I don't have one, but they're kind of expensive to use, John Sullivan told me frankly, of the Keurig K-Cups, the single-serving brew pods that have fundamentally changed the coffee experience in recent years. Plus, it's not like a drip coffee, it's tough to make, which would seem like pretty banal sentiment when Sullivan, not the inventor of K-Cup, okay. Almost 1 in 3 homes now has a pod-based coffee machine, even though Sullivan never imagined that they would be used outside of offices. Last year, K-Cups accounted for the most of Green Mountain's $4.7 billion in revenue, more than 5 times the company made 5 years prior. So even though it gets treated like a minor celebrity when he tells people he founded Keurig, Sullivan has some regrets about selling his share of the company in 1997 for $50,000, but that's not really upsets him. In 2010, journalist and caffeine aficionado Murray Carpenter visited the Keurig facilities in Waterbury, Vermont, reporting the New York Times that the K-Cup idea posed environmental concerns as the pods were not recyclable or biodegradable. In the same year, the Keurig model seemed to take off, doubling in sales. Holy shit. In 2011, local boys make a big story in the Boston Globe magazine. Eric Anderson, a professional in marketing at the Northwestern University, likewise noticed that the coffee machines could invite significant backlash because they generate a ton of plastic waste. At the same time of Carpenter's visit, Keurig was on the pace to selling 3 million K-Cups. So to say that the growth has been good since then is an understatement. Last year they toppled $9 billion. Jeez. But today the cups are still not recyclable or biodegradable, and that they only stand to become rapidly more ambiguous. Later this year, in partnership with Coca-Cola, the company will release a machine called Keurig Gold that will introduce Coca-Cola's global brand portfolio to the machines, growing rapidly closer to the corporate mission, or Keurig brewer on every counter and a beverage for every occasion. Jeez. Though the predicted consumer backlash has arrived, especially in recent months, the company continues to grow. Others have entered the market very successfully, while drip coffee maker sales are stagnant. Pod machine sales have increased sixfold since 2008. Looking back on his invention amid increasing public condemnation of K-Cups as a scourge on the planet, Sullivan told me, "I feel bad sometimes that I ever did it." Oh, jeez. As a 20-something Bosnian in 1992, John Sullivan didn't have a particular passion for coffee, but he was drinking 30 to 40 cups a day. He had to drink that much because, intent on starting his own business, Sullivan had left his menial office job and became his own test subject for coffee, which was at times barely palatable, and he could produce via homemade pod device. Sullivan was certain there was a market for a better, more customized, more liberating caffeine experience than the tepid office percolator run by vendors with a corner on the market for delivering terrible coffee in masses. Once he had a design that worked, he looked up the word excellence in Dutch, because everyone likes the Dutch. And he and his college roommate Peter Dragon named their new company Keurig. Sullivan knew the pods would sell. As he explained the appeal now, it's like a cigarette for coffee, a single-serve delivery mechanism for an addictive substance. But he had no idea at the time how unambiguous this product would become. And like a printer cartridge or razor blades, the Keurig business model was predicted on another type of dependence. The machines are not too expensive as appliances go. You can get one for $63, a bargain for a taste of the good stuff, but once you have one, it has you too. The cups contain a mere 11 grams of coffee, vacuum sealed in nitrogen to prevent oxidation. K-Cups are extremely profitable, selling standard coffee grounds for about 40 cents per pound. But what are you going to do? Not buy the refills for your machine? And when the break is over, I'll come back to see about finishing this article. Be right back.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
What the heck is the truth, Jihad? Hey, I'm Kevin Barrett, host of Truth Jihad Radio. Federal prosecutors, Department of Homeland Security agents, and curious passersby often ask me, just what is this truth jihad thing anyway? Well, everybody knows what truth is, but jihad is a misunderstood term. Jihad means effort or struggle. The greater jihad is the struggle to be a better person, while the lesser jihad is the struggle to defend the community. Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, did say that the best jihad is a word of truth flung in the face of a tyrant. And that's what we do here at Truth Jihad Radio. Every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, 5 to 7 Pacific, right here on Revolution Radio.
We talk about decentralization and then annihilation. Bitcoin, Litecoin, MyCoin, Your Coin, blockchain, baby. Mondays at 1600 hours Eastern, Studio A.
Find some comfort at Willow's World. A variety of news, commentary and poetry at Willow's Poetry Corner, where there are comfy cushions and a tempting selection of delectable comestibles. A show that's quirkily and quintessentially British, with a unique twist featuring Willow Andreasen, your host. Join Willow Mondays and Thursdays 2 till 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Studio A.
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, fingers and or toes often go cold, arms and or legs often go to sleep, sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe, short walks cause cramping or pains in legs, memory is not as good as it used to be, ankles swell late in the day, chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877 928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Alrighty then. Yeah. Let's extend the planet's life by getting and stopping this K-cap crap. Are we that belligerent? I mean, I guess we really are. Now, what could you do with these leftover little caps? There's no way to recycle and to use them. And then what's the flippin' chemical that they put in there gonna do to you? Let alone the environment as you open the little thing. Well, it happens in the machine, but still, I just can't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, yes. Of course, the patents expired in 2012, so the market will suddenly flooded with off-brand competitors. The company creates a second-generation machine that would only function with the Keywing brand cups. Its digital rights management, the coffee equivalent of Steve Jobs, attempts to fill the iPods only with music sold through iTunes. That might seem like a reasonable, defensible move to protect intellectual property and keep a corner on the market, except some of the competitors' cups are nearly completely biodegradable or reusable. Oh, no, that's cool. Which does little to deflect the growing criticism that Keurig Green Mountain is not seriously prioritizing sustainability. So, oh my. Let's see. Sullivan sent a link to the YouTube video entitled Kill the K-Cup. It was an apocalyptic 2.5 minutes of K-Cups raining down on humanity like hellfire. Flying monsters and aircrafts made entirely of K-Cups shoot K-Cups down onto people covering in the streets, which are filled with empty K-Cups. The video was highly produced with a Hollywood-level Cloverfield special effects and disdain for snubbery. K-Cups are quite literally destroying the planet. The implicit scale of the tragedy is enormous, even if we only see 2 people actually crushed by K-Cups. Jeez. I'll have to see if I can get that. Well, that's on Vimeo. Okay, that's not it. So, doomsday sequences are interspersed with statistics that drive the point home. In 2014, enough K-Cups were sold that if placed end to end, they would circle the globe 10.5 times. Almost all of them end up in landfills. They are not recyclable. Using them is extremely wasteful and irresponsible. They are a stupid way to make coffee that simply cannot be sustained. Stop using them! Stop using them! Stop using them! Kill the K-Cup before it kills our planet. Like many users of the internet, I have actually already seen Kill the K-Cup. The mysterious anonymous YouTube video was published this January and spread widely. It sprawled a hashtag Kill the K-Cup at the suggestion of the final frames of the video, which is still live on multiple social media platforms. Imitators have posted videos of themselves throwing their Keurig machines out the window or bashing them with baseball bats, Office Space style. The Kill the K-Cup video was the most popular post on the environment website Grist for multiple days. So, let's see. It was that it got and picked up news sites, even more journalists knew where it came from. It seemed like a strangely high investment approach to video production, especially for something that no one bothered to take credit for. Except then, of course, someone eventually did. Okay. Kerwig Green Mountain secretive about how many K-Cups the company actually puts into the world every year. The best estimates say the Keurig pods buried in 2014 would actually circle the Earth not 10 times, 0.5 times, but more like 12. The company would only tell me that last year they sold 9.8 billion Keurig brewed portion packs, which include the new multiple cup pods. Those are fully recyclable, Monique Oleander is quick to point out. Oleander came to Keurig Green Mountain in 2012 to serve as Chief Sustainability Officer. Green Mountain, a company long known for its eco-friendly approach to coffee, acquired Keurig in 2006. Even though the company did not change its name to Keurig Green Mountain until March of 2014. And indeed, every new K-Cup spin-off product that the company has introduced since 2006, including the VU, the Bolt, and the K-Crafty cups, is recyclable if a person is willing to disassemble them into paper, plastic, and metal components. Oh, jeez. Gotta be honest with you. Oxender said we're not happy with where we are either. Have to get a solution. We have to get it in place pretty quickly. Last year, Keurig Green Mountain pledged to create a fully recyclable version of its blockbuster product, the K-Cup, by 2020. Last month, the company's annual sustainability report reaffirms that vow. It's a point that Oxender has irradiated multiple times during damage control in the wake of Kill the Cup. But promising only 5 more years with this amount of waste has done little to satisfy detractors. Some say it won't be possible even to make the K-Cup that is anything short of an environmental shitstorm. No matter what they say about recycling, those things will never be recyclable, Sullivan says. The plastic is specialized plastic made of 4 different layers. The cups are made from plastic number 7, a mix that is recyclable in only a handful of cities in Canada. That plastic keeps the coffee inside protected like a nuclear bunker, and it also holds up during brewing processes. A paper phototype failed to accomplish this as much. And because the K-Cup is made of that plastic integrated with a filter, grounds, and plastic foil top, there is no easy way to separate the components for the recycling. A Venn diagram would likely have to overlap between people who pay for the ultra convenience of K-Cups and the people who care enough to painstakingly disassemble said cups after use. Still, the internet is littered with stories of personal revelations that pod accumulation can't be a good thing. I wouldn't describe myself as the most environmentally conscious person, writes one user on the food blog Chow, but I emptied the K-Cup bin at work this afternoon. It occurred to me that this is quite the waste. A commenter on another site describes that unsettling experience of regularly walking into a room in a financial district past a dumpster full of coffee pods every day. Evans in Halifax, Nova Scotia, one of the few places that can recycle category number 7 plastic. K-Cups are accumulating in quantities that alarm people who see the waste coming out of the offices using the machines. An Egg Studios production company, for one, CEO Mike Hatchery remembers the joy that enveloped his office when the K-Rig machines first replaced their swill percolator. Any cup of coffee we want, and look, they have Brew Starbucks. Where we live, the recycling programs are quite good. Hardy Hatchery explains to non-Canadian me, so you become accustomed to recycling everything? Hatchery and colleagues were embattled every time they finished making a cup. We didn't like having those little pods that we couldn't just easily pop open, compost the grounds, and recycle the plastic, he explained. Even for the employees who were willing to take the time to separate the lid, remove the paper filler, and compost the grounds, the local recycling facilities were struggling with the cups falling through the sorting graters. We work in advertising. We work with brands to help tell their stories, including social media campaigns requiring engaging content, Hatchery explained. So we thought, you know what, we can take on a cause and really make something that would be plausible. I laughed, a little plausible. You know, something that people would watch and want to pass on like a viral video. In the U.S., people tend to say shareable, but that is also an awful buzzword cliche. So maybe possible should take its place. It works on a level too because so much shareable content is only held to the editorial and intellectual standard of being passable. It became clear to Hatchery that in order for a video to be extremely passable, it needed to do something people would care about. Marrying that with the satire and pulp culture seemed like a clear formula for success. Plus, his company wanted an exercise in post-production. What we ended up with was a short movie where we exaggerated the impacts of K-Cups on the planet. He exclaimed that the movie, of course, killed the K-Cups. Keeping the video anonymous was only part of the Egg Studio strategy to create a buzz on social media, which led to some news write-ups. After the first week, Egg Studios sent out a press release claiming ownership of the video, and Hatchery did some subsequent radio and TV interviews. He even talked with a Singapore newspaper. There are no Keurig machines in Singapore. The Edmonton Waste Management Center called the studio to say they had found that the coffee pods account for fully 1% of their waste. Hatchery had said 6 brand new coffee presses sitting on his desk, unsolicited gift from companies that appreciated the video. One size, we hate K-Cups too. I asked if he heard from Keurig Green Mountain, and they said they liked the video and thought it was so funny, and that they appreciated the point we're trying to make. Do you believe that? I think pretty pissed off about. I think they're pretty pissed off about the video, he admitted. As corporations, you can no longer just sit in your office and hope that no one comes and pickets in front of your door. Now we do the same thing through content, and can have even bigger impact on the bottom liners. One of the most famous cases of consumer empowerment through video or viral videos was 2009, United Breaks Guitars, in which musician Dave Carroll sang about how the United Airlines broke his Taylor guitar and denied claims for reimbursement. Shortly after, the video swept the internet until stock fell dramatically. One analysis estimated that the incident ultimately cost shareholders $180 million. The video has now been seen by 15 million times on YouTube. For that kind of exposure, I imagine many aspiring musicians would be willing to watch their guitars get broken. No. At killthecup.org, people can sign a petition that asks Keurig to improve its product, but really the hashtag in this petition, we hope that people would try to take on the cause with us, he said, maybe just by giving up K-Cups or by using the refillable cups that worked with the first version of the machine. And of course, maybe even spreading the hashtag and bringing more people back to the work of egg studios. For the small production company, Kale the K-Cup was both a talent showcase and a way to make an impact. Prior to this video, Egg's most popular product was some high-concept pro bono work for the pre-game show of the local hockey team, the Halifax Mooseheads, which is more amazing than it might sound. But in the media landscape, increasingly saturated with these amazingness, social impacts is the surest way to stand out. I think we can be more creative. We can get more engagement. We can have a bigger impact. All those buzzwords. But what matters is the movement. You'll tell a lot of the stories in your career as a writer and a videographer, had she told me, but there probably won't be as many that you remember on your deathbed. Environmental awareness is never a bad thing, but how warranted is the fear and outrage that these pods have sprawled? And even the little cups are so bad, what is the best way for a reasonable person to acquire coffee? To get that taste of liveliness and for at least one moment each day feel uniquely lucid and ambitious, even excited about work, without the creeping guilt that you and your habit are but little drags on this majestic planet. If you ever find yourself throwing out a K-cup and then you remember that 13 billion went into the landfill last year, do you feel okay contributing to that? That's what it comes down to. Does it? The statistic in the Kill the Cups about the pods circling the Earth 10.5 times is now widely cited. The dramatic imagery came from a popular 2014 Mother Jones article by Maddie Oatman, which has now been passed 95,000 times on Facebook. That article borrowed from the statistic form of a book called Caffeinated, which was written by none other than Murray Carpenter, the journalist who initially raised the concern about K-cups in the Times in 2010. I've only known of people who have, had them, had them, and just didn't even want to use them anymore. That the cups were so expensive, etc., etc. Now I don't know if they did it from an environmental standpoint, because I just thought of that now as I'm reading the article, that, oh my gosh, because I make a thermos of coffee, it's not a single cup. All right. When I spoke with Carpenter, he acknowledged that the problem was actually not straightforward as the earth circling cups and the most wasteful form of coffee. There is, headlines makes it seem, as consumers, we have visceral reactions to the waste that we actually are seeing being produced. The piles of pods that we watch accumulate in trash bins, but in other ways unseen. Keurig's method isn't the worst. For one, pod machines save electricity in that they're not constantly working to keep a pot warm. And proponents of K-cups argue that people are extracting coffee from the grounds more efficiently. The 11 grams of grounds in a K-cup are utilized more efficiently than when I throw a handful of ground coffee into my Meta filter in the morning, Carpenter noted. Indeed, Monique Alcindor made the same point in defense of her product. But what the big deal is a slightly more efficient extraction process. Alcindor emphasizes that the coffee beans are a water-intensive crop. Every bit of grounds that is wasted or used below its potential represents a lot of wasted water. And unless you take the time to actually weigh out the exact amount of grounds for a simple minimalist pour-over, as in vogue among baristas testing new extremes of consumer annoyance, people are likely to overestimate and overuse Most homes that brew entire pots of coffee are ending up throwing out 12 to 15% of the pot on average, which actually represents 25 liters of wasted water by Keurig Green Mountain calculations, counting backwards all the way to the rain that fell on the beans. People who use single-cup pods are much less likely to brew more coffee than they actually drink. How do people get to understand that water, smart behaviors are extremely important? Oxender said, especially in a culture like we have in North America, we really don't know how to value water. Yeah, that's sad. And all our water's screwed anyway. Commercial brewing at places like Starbucks is effective in that way, except that many people use a new cup every time they go, and recycling rates are less than perfect. There's also an energy cost of transportation to and from said Starbucks. Thinking about all this has been almost enough to make me feel like coffee method is so far from perfect that I should just give up entirely. Well, you can't have perfect anything. Carpenter points out that one life cycle analysis that found the most sustainable approach to daily coffee was actually, instant coffee. Yuck. And it's unlikely that many people will switch to instant or abandon coffee altogether in favor of a caffeine pill or energy drink, which is usually contained excessive sugar and where there's much of the caffeine is synthetically produced in Chinese factories that Carpenter has described as sketchy. So the demand for quick, easy, customable, single-serve delivery mechanisms will march on. Keurig has said it was not at work on a solution to the waste problem since back in 2010 when Carpenter first visited. If pod backlash continued at its current pace, it does seem that the company will need to quickly innovate, ally, or be displaced. Oxender says the most promising redesign approach involves polyurethane, which, considering the potential sustainability of a new material, the company has to think about the entire life cycle, including how many material processing facilities have the technology to accommodate the material and bin it appropriately, and whether there will be a buyer at the back door of the recycling centers. Without that, the recyclers aren't incentivized to collect it. And beyond reconsidering materials, one solution for Keurig might lie with an old friend. I told them how to approve it, but they don't want to listen, John Sullivan told me. There's much better ways of doing it. Sure, take the coffee, put it in a centrifuge, and it comes apart. Then you take the parts and combine them back when you make the coffee. So you use something like a ketchup foil pack, and the separate parts won't become oxidized when they are stored and transported. Then you can combine them again at the last minute while making the coffee, he said. I couldn't think of a reason it wouldn't work, or a reason that it would. After another pause, he said, definitely, I did the experiment years ago, and it worked. Disruptors, it seems, gonna disrupt. Amazing as it would be if Sullivan were to capitalize on that and upend the company that once bought him out. He's doing okay either way. When he was bought out of Keurig in 1997, he turned around and bought stock in Green Mountain for $3.2 a share. He sold the stock a couple years ago when it broke $140 a share. He recently started a new company that sells solar panels, partly to atone for the environmental problem he believes he created. So, the company is called Zonbak, which means sun bucket in Dutch. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, that was an interesting... I never knew K-Cups were so... Oh my gosh. But then again, I haven't been in an office building in how long. All I know is by what I've seen. And it takes a lot to clean those machines. I wonder how they are with so many people in an office using each one. Because it's not just, you got to keep up with this stuff. These machines need that kind of maintenance. And who's doing that? I don't know. I don't know how many people are really doing that. Okay. So, we've got less than a minute to go. But yeah, I'm all up for saving this planet big time. Sure enough. That's right. Because, yep, just have to think that, why wouldn't we take care of the planet that's taking care of us? Yep. Oh, should I talk about this when I come back? Maybe not. A lot of people sure have spoken their feelings about it. I mean, really, oh my gosh. Yeah, well, okay. Be right back.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hello, all you good-looking people out there in Revolution Radio. This is Mario. I invite you to join me Thursdays at 6 o'clock for This, That, and the Other. It's a show about you, it's a show about me, but ultimately it's a show where we try to have a little bit of fun. We discuss important topics, and we do our best to be apolitical. So I invite you, put on your favorite pair of comfy sweats, your smoking jacket, and grab a beverage of your choice, and join me Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock for This, That, and the Other on Revolution Radio.
Enter into a world unseen on Raven Star's Witching Hour. You will encounter eclectic topics from the realm of spirit brought into our matrix of truth. With your host, the Solaris Blue Raven. Solaris will bring you an array of unique guests covering topics from ghostly spirits to amazing anomalies, covert technology, UFOs, and shadowy global events.
And that's right here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, Saturdays, midnight till 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
Let the magic rise.
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, fingers and or toes often go cold, arms and or legs often go to sleep, sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe, short walks cause cramping or pains in legs, memory is not as good as it used to be, ankles swell late in the day, chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
that one kind of like jumped. Welcome back. We're here at freedomslips.com, revolution.radio, and cosmicreality.net. I think I was a bit late, but oh well. You know how it goes on, I almost said Monday and it's Wednesday. All day! Oh my goodness, that's so funny. So here we go. Let's see. Don't forget we're listener supported, so do us a favor. We need... Oh, did he put it in there this time? No, he didn't. But we need $375 today. So there was a silver coin that helped, but every silver coin only gives us a $20 donation. So we'd appreciate cash as much. Plus archives, seed packs, bullet drives. I think that's what they called it. Bullet drives. Has all kinds of growing and using and taking care of all your gardening things. That's right. Let's see, where am I? This just really got my... no, I'm not going to accept cookies. I don't apologize. I don't want your cookies. Okay. I mean, this is just wrong, where they just don't let you out of it. Come on, let me out of this. Oh. Okay. No, I want it gone. What happens if I do that? I don't care about your use of cookies. I don't want your cookies. Go away. Shh. Okay. It's just not going to let me, so I guess I'm not supposed to. Yep. I won't do that one. Yep. But the mirror.co.uk, they are now selling child sex dolls the size of girls age 3. Yes, anybody in the UK. That's just disgusting. That's worse than disgusting. I just, nothing like just taking life away. That's right. We don't care about real life. That doesn't matter. No, at all. So, should I call him? I mean, he did have green a second ago. Okay, let's see. Bigger fish need to be fried than Keurig. Yeah, I bet. Yep. Bigger companies create a lot more environmental impact. I agree. But we wonder why all the oceans have plastic in them. Why we have plastic in us. Doesn't even matter what kind. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it's just all say la vie to a degree sometimes, isn't it? Yep. Yep, so should I just... Okay. Yeah, I'm live. If you want in... Live. I mean, he's got a green to go, so I don't know. Should I just call him? And say, all right, I'm grabbing your butt. I used to do that kind of stuff. But I don't want to interrupt him if he's eating dinner. I mean, you know, or that. Okay, so we shall see what happens. Yep, because I really would like to get this fella's info. Okay, he's ready. Cool. Then I will go here, and I will go here, and I will go here. And then I will go here. It takes 7 different times. Which is really kind of funny. There we are. I really am happy to hear from you.
Hi, Mona. How are you doing?
Oh, it's cold here yet. I'm waiting for spring. I actually see things popping up, so I'm getting excited. But I was a little more concerned about what's going on with you.
Quite a bit, to be honest. They've put the criminal case back till the 28th, because obviously they're still trying to. That's the appeal, where I'm appealing against the original sentence, but the civil case is still trying to get me sent back to prison. I want to get us sent to prison, not back. I want to try and get us sent to prison. They're desperate to guard me for some reason, Mona. I think I've been saying the wrong thing. I think the truth seems to be a bit of a problem these days to people in power.
Well, Mr. Mark Steele, there's going to be new 7 years of changes, but you've been on the front line, and you kind of had to know you were going to be spotlighted like that.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. But anyway, good thing is we now know that 5G is most certainly an indictable offence. So anybody pushing 5G, anybody involved in 5G, either cease and desist now, otherwise intent, because obviously prior to it was February 2019, February the 7th, Congress has now found out that there's no safety regulations or anything other. There's been no safety data, there's no regulations, there's nothing to show that 5G is safe. That means it's in breach of the Nuremberg Code, and that means it's absolutely an indictable offence. So anybody rolling out technology that's got anything to do with 5G, it's prison time. If they carry on, obviously beyond these dates, they carry on with the 5G. I was talking to some very senior cyber security people in the US here last week. This is most certainly a crime, and God help you. God help you, because I'll tell you now, the prison sentences for intent to harm people can be pretty severe.
Well, I consider more harming the earth more important than the people, but that's me. Yeah. Because this stuff is literally destroying life. I mean, by just your videos, how's your YouTube going?
Well, Google pulled down the YouTube, the Save Us Now YouTube channel. They pulled it down. It was illegal. That's illegal. This is a political party, a political movement, and a fully registered democratic political party in the UK. Was actually, their channel was pulled down by Google because we were starting to mention the autonomous electric vehicle and the 5G link up, and how those electric vehicles will give people cancer, how they haven't been fully risk assessed, how the radiation in the cabin's lethal to humans over periods of time, which haven't been tested, haven't been fully risk assessed, how the autonomous vehicles that Google are driving about with the LiDAR systems, they are extremely dangerous to people's eyesight, can damage people. So these technologies aren't safe. So Google obviously didn't like that, so they pulled the YouTube channel down.
Well, they took ours away years ago for the radio station. So yeah, it is kind of like they don't want the reality out there, because your videos were direct and precise. And
total science, Mona. The videos were absolutely just about technology. We were talking about a humanitarian crime here. So anybody trying to deflect or deceive, block the dissemination of truth in relation to humanitarian crime, these are criminal enterprises. So this is a criminal enterprise. A foreign, obviously, we're not USA based, we're a democratic party based in the UK. So this is an attack on democracy by a foreign technology company based in the USA. And not only that, this cover-up is also a humanitarian crime in the US. So this is an attack on the US people, this is an attack on the West by a technology company that's based in the West. Absolutely bizarre.
Yeah, it is, especially after you hear that Trump's all game for it, and then 6G too. But there's also the thing where it's misconstrued because there's the 5G for gigahertz or the 5G that is the microwave, because there's just too many parallels that they're trying to sell us on, to confuse us. Like here, the HARP system, where it's the, they call the elderly housing stuff here HARP system. So it's, they just separate the total reality from it. So explain more of what you're representing and what side of the 5G you're working against.
Well, what we've actually created today to Save Us Now political movement is a document that can be used against any technology company. What we're saying to them is we now know that 5G is an indictable offence. Anybody involved with it will be looking at very long prison terms, and especially, obviously these guys have been duped, same as a number of people who are buying into it have been duped. However, now that they know it's an indictable offence, they have to cease and desist. Not ceasing and desisting will then implicate them in the intention, so the intention to harm humans. Now, harming humans, obviously, deliberately, with intent, is obviously there's a difference between a manslaughter charge and a murder charge. If you intend to assault somebody, obviously you can accidentally hurt somebody if you don't know. But if you actually intend to harm somebody, then obviously that's a very, very serious crime we're talking about there. So that document's been posted to the Save Us Now website. And what it actually says on it is that, we know that the 5G is an indictable offence now. To carry on with it will actually show and prove intent by organisations. And obviously that's a far more serious offence. So they've got to gamble whether they're the Luciferian plan is going to go forward or mankind prevail and right prevails and the law prevails. And if the law does prevail, these people will be spending the rest of their lives in prison.
Well, it's better. Well, we should put a 5G in the prison. Here, you want it? You got it. Because after the article that I read about what they're doing with the trains, every so many feet is going to be the 5G, and it's going to supposedly help the trains so people can get their stuff. It's all, to me, a lie. But still, that we're making technology too much more important than life itself, and that's just wrong. Just cutting down the trees in your neighborhood just so the 5G can attack the environment faster and stronger, because it's doing it to the materials that we live with. Explain some of how the gassing off through all this is.
Well, the gassing off, what actually happens is microwave radiation and air pulse modulation. What it does, it breaks down fabric. It breaks down the fabric of buildings. It breaks down the fabric of materials. Any hydrocarbon-built materials, so plastics, technology, anything where the sort of materials can potentially break down hydrocarbons, so wood products and things like that, they can break down and start to gas off. And I'm pretty sure that's why the fires in Paradise, smart meters definitely were implicated there. We know that. I do not believe it was dual weapons. Absolutely not. And the reason why I know that pretty sure that was the case, I actually watched dual weapons be shown in videos, actual dual weapons shown targeting buildings in California. Now, most dual weapons operate in the non-visible spectrum. You cannot see them. So to actually see a dual weapon actually be used on a building in California, that to me is a smokescreen. That to me, it's like, it's like the Kennedy assassination. It would be like somebody using a tracer bullet to shoot a president. Whether that happened or not, obviously the jury's out whether what actually happened. However, it would be as simple as that. So from a weapons perspective, you wouldn't use a weapon that operates in the visible spectrum to actually shoot at a building in California unless you're trying to deflect from the real issue, which I believe what actually happened in California was in fact just smart. So the secret militarized armaments and residential technology had just basically self-imploded, where you had an energy surge, and then that started bringing down buildings, and obviously the increase in the microwave radiation in those hydrocarbon-built buildings basically just torched them quickly, left very little visible signs of life. So where people were basically full of microwave radiation, they would actually basically explode, a bit like, not
human
like
spontaneous combustion kind of thing.
There'd be nothing left of them, Mona, and that's what we see. There's nobody left of them.
Yeah, but with even the interior of the cars, that means that the fibers and that they're using, like you said, is embedded with all this toxic gases.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another reason why you don't want autonomous vehicles, because that 5G is soaking into everything and you don't know. Whoops, somebody had a backgas and there you go, exploding.
Well, exactly. Well, the whole thing, it's a weapon system, Mona. It's not, this whole 5G thing's a scam. The autonomous vehicle thing's a scam. The electric car vehicle's a scam. They're all a scam. They're a scam so somebody can roll out a weapon system, a covert terrorist attack on the USA. And not, on the West. The whole of the West's getting this garbage.
Oh, yes, that almost makes me feel non-American.
Well, the American people, I've been to America a few times. America's full of some great people, and it's about time that they woke up and started to fight back. I've met some very, very astute American people, and I do not believe for 1 minute that they're going to be rolled over by a technology company basically from China.
Right, because that's supposedly where all the equipment is coming from. But there's so many different varieties of equipment.
Yeah.
Explain some of the ones that concern you the most.
The ones that concern me are the radiators. There's reactors, what I call molecular reactors, hanging on telegraph poles that I've seen images of in the USA. In fact, I spoke to somebody very, very high up in US cybersecurity just 2 days ago. I was on the call for 2 hours. They sent me some imagery to review. I basically said they're quite concerned that it's not telecoms. I confirmed it most certainly isn't telecoms, and it's most certainly a molecular reactor where it will gas people at anywhere in the locality where it will gas them. So
please share that with me. If you can, share me those pictures.
The pictures, I'll do that, Mona. Yeah. Bear with us a second.
Because I'll put it in a video with this conversation.
All right. Bear with us a second. I've got the pictures. Yeah, I'll get that cranked up in a minute.
Because I want the truth to be all right out there too.
Yeah.
Because I still think that there's magic in this world that we can make changes. But first, you got to stop the polluting. And you got to end the lie, which is, this is so much better for you because you'll get faster service. I'm like,
Mona, it's a fake narrative. I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you this indictable crime thing. I want people to look at that. And then I'm going to send you, because people need to read that, get involved, and then what they need to do, contact any companies, any shareholders, it tells you in the document what to do. It's a bit of direction. A lot of people need direction. They need a little bit of help to sort of get themselves organised. Let me have a look. Let's have a look here.
Right.
Get some imagery here. I'll show you some reactors. I got these images sent to me from the USA. It was absolutely appalling.
Because I take pictures all the time, and I have to find different ways to drive down the streets that I don't want to be affected by.
There you go. There's an image there. They're reactors.
Oh, that's them.
That's them.
And look at that. That's bad. Okay. That'll definitely go in the video. I can't share it now because I don't know how to do that, but I can put it in a video. And that's But the other ones that are on the pole are just like the little ones that are on top.
That's it. That's their molecular reactors. Absolutely. They've got cooler fins to cool the system down so it doesn't burn out. That means you've got to put that much energy in there. That's unbelievable, Mona. And I got them sent to me. A lady. This is some top person in America, by the way, who sent me this information and said, I need you to have a look at this. Can you tell me what they are? Because we believe they're not telecommunications. And this is a telecommunications expert who works for the US government, who works actually for the US government, asked me to review that and tell her what they were. And what I said was, they are molecular reactors. I've invented a couple of these. I've invented molecular reactors in the past, which is pretty fortunate.
Oh, it's more than fortunate, because this just makes me cringe. Because I live in not such a big town, but when I go close into a big town, I just don't even want to go there. But, oh gosh, just people have to wake up. There's got to be a concordance that can change all this.
Mona, the document I sent first, really important, because what that does, that puts them on notice. Not only does it put them on notice, it gives them an out. So anybody that carries on with a crime, we now know 5G is an indictable crime. That thing there hanging on that telegraph pole is most certainly a crime. And when the people wake up, believers are not going to be happy. So
I think I've already shared the one about the compensation law Wi-Fi. Is that the one you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this one's to put them on notice. It's quite interesting. Have a read of it, Mona. You'll quite like that. It's quite an interesting document.
Okay, but not right now. Because I tell you what, I'd like to sometimes wish I did become a semi-lawyer so I could know the true value of the words that they're getting over on us with. Because, they just law. Oh, gosh. But if you know how to play the game, then I'm just like the Save Us Now link people. You also have a GoFundMe, which is really important. Yeah. Because this man is fighting for all life itself. Not just the idea to get out there because it's a fad. No, this is a destructive element that is destroying all life on this planet. And since people live on this planet, you should wake the F up. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. Well, those reactors, Mona, will kill all life, everything, every blade of grass, every blade of grass, everything that lives. That reactor will be able to split the oxygen molecule, will create ozone, that's O3, and that will kill humans at 50 parts per million, but it destroys all life, all biological life. That's what those reactors are capable of.
So if you're walking your dog down the sidewalk, just trying to mind your own business, and the dog keels over and then you're next, you can thank your utility companies, because that's what they think they are. Yeah, oh, it's a utility company. You must have it. Oh, those were the ugliest pictures that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, they're pretty scary. Yeah.
Well, just considering that I know the locations and that they would probably even put them closer to those individual electronic power plants or whatever they are. Because there's one road I drive down past 3 of them. I try not to drive down that road.
Yeah.
Because that's the poles I'm seeing all these things coming in on. But they're making them white in some of the areas. Not the black like those are. So maybe it just depends on what time of the year they're putting them up. Who knows? Because that's ugly. Oh, I almost can't wait to get them out there. So besides the dates and the gag order and whatnot, what have you felt that you've done lately that's actually gotten something good and accomplished? You might have to think about that because we're at the bottom of the hour, so we have like a 4-minute break. But Oh my gosh. I'm just happy to know that you're out there trying to give people the real clues. We got like 30 seconds or whatever, but oh, Mark,
yeah, well,
just amazing.
And stuff. It's the great thing is there's a growing positive. There's a positive movement that people starting to wake up. You know, absolutely starting to wake up.
All right, we'll be right back.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
What the heck is the truth, Jihad? Hey, I'm Kevin Barrett, host of Truth Jihad Radio. Federal prosecutors, Department of Homeland Security agents, and curious passersby often ask me, just what is this truth jihad thing anyway? Well, everybody knows what truth is, but jihad is a misunderstood term. Jihad means effort or struggle. The greater jihad is the struggle to be a better person, while the lesser jihad is the struggle to defend the community. Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, did say that the best jihad is a word of truth flung in the face of a tyrant. And that's what we do here at Truth Jihad Radio. Every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, 5 to 7 Pacific, right here on Revolution Radio.
We talk about decentralization and then annihilation. Bitcoin, Litecoin, MyCoin, Yourcoin, blockchain, baby. Mondays at 1600 hours Eastern, Studio A.
Find some comfort at Willow's World. A variety of news, commentary and poetry at Willow's Poetry Corner, where there are comfy cushions and a tempting selection of delectable comestibles. A show that's quirkily and quintessentially British, with a unique twist featuring Willow Andreasen, your host.
Join Willow Mondays and Thursdays 2 till 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Studio A.
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, fingers and or toes often go cold, arms and or legs often go to sleep, sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe, short walks cause cramping or pains in legs, memory is not as good as it used to be, ankles swell late in the day, chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to...
How are the people that first brought your attention with the nose, harmed in the womb? I mean, there's been so much already evidence. How are those folks doing?
Yeah, well, what actually happened? None of that's still suffering. We've got lots of people suffering. We've got the police running around bullying people, turning up at their homes in the middle of the night, armed police threatening people, basically just trying to shut the whole thing down. Unbelievable. So it's, listen, the whole thing's just going to pan out the way it pans out. You know what I mean? We know that we'll win this. We're not going to lose this. Absolutely not. Because we've got we've actually got the big fella on our side. This is the work of the devil. The devil attacking the
right.
Is absolute Luciferian. It's devil's work. And obviously on the other side, we've got God. God always wins. Everybody knows that. You have to be daft to think that the devil's going to let the devil win. I mean, he's the big man. So God's on our side. Mankind is God's creation. It's not going to let the devil totally take it down.
It's because the psychopaths only think with their mind of the power play and control of the financial existence, which is all a crock of crap, but also that it's each and every one of us who has to find that inner spark of authenticity and to stand up for their rights to be alive, let alone our offsprings. Or if I see hummingbirds this spring, I'll be so excited because I know how detrimental all these negative 3D satanic, just like you said, Luciferian elements have taken hold. Because I was just going to read an article on the UK now makes 3-year-old sex dolls.
Yeah. Oh, no. See, somebody sent me. It's mental, isn't it?
It's worse than mental. There's morals, there's reality of taking responsibility, and where does a plastic thing take you, but you want flesh next? It's wrong.
Yeah.
I couldn't even see adult ones. Did you ever see the movie AI?
I didn't know.
It's all about a robotic system. Oh, you'd have to see it if you can. It's called AI. And it just says all the transhumanizing, but the machines became conscious and they wanted to live too. So it was a battle between machines and humans. It's like, jeez. But we got taught to believe that was in our favor. And it's not. My computer keeps changing, and I'm not touching buttons to make it change.
Yeah.
And
we're living in very strange times, Mona. But the good thing is, look, people need to get positive talk. We win this. We win this, absolutely.
But can we do some kind of boycotting thing as well? I mean, how many actions or avenues can we really take besides trying to put the word out so people get at least aware of it?
Getting the word out is really important, but also getting people that are concerned about, people with grandkids, people with children, people know there's something not right going on. And what we need to do is we need to just give them the correct information so that they can act. They can take it upon themselves. We're seeing a massive awakening over here, Mona. Lots of people starting to get involved. It's quite heartening, to be honest, the amount of people that are starting to really wake up to what's been going on. I mean, they've obviously been deceived. We know, the whole plan, it's all about deception. It's like the devil's work. It's all about deception. It's all about
Well, it's the illusion of their grandeur to be able to override us. Whoops. Go ahead. Because I think the more people that will be better influenced, and I don't want to say it, are those ones who get impacted by the whole difference of the situations. Because people are walking around with migraines and other things like that, and they think it's only a headache. It's a bigger effect from the cause of people wanting their Wi-Fi faster or whatever. It's stupid.
Our 5G is a weapon system. It's got the 5G narrative is all about faster speed. That's what the media is telling you. 5G's got nothing to do with that. 5G is a weapon. 5G is a weapon system. Let's get it straight. It's got nothing to do with telecommunications to humans. It is here to kill. It's not for faster speed. Don't believe the nonsense. It's not 5 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz is a frequency, a faster frequency for a telecommunications system. That's not 5G. 5G is a weapon, 5 gigahertz frequency signal. It's what the industry's putting 5 gigahertz systems out, and they're telling people people are making the assumption it's 5G. It's not. 5G is a weapon.
So from the different waves, because they would think that, oh, well, it's radar and all these other things that they're using supposedly is safe, but it's not, because it's actually under a different wavelength or purpose of how it's being omitted.
It's the way it's emitted. It's the antenna design mainly. That's one of the technical parameters for 5G is the antenna design. There's a few different technical parameters. One's densification. That's the main one. So more densification. Then there's the antenna design, which actually really identifies 5G.
And so that's what you see on top of these LED street lights, or not?
Yeah. The ubiquitous increase in the LED street lights.
I don't even like driving at night because it just doesn't make sense to me. And LEDs is destroying the inside of the house too, and they're making it so you can't even buy iridescent, incandescent, however you call them, light bulbs anymore.
Yeah.
So we should be able to have the right to say no more. I mean, people, come on. It is up to each one of us to make a different path on setting an example that this is not correct. I'm always looking for regular light bulbs, but they're hard to find. Everything's been hard to find. You're right. And I don't want to fight with the devil, but I sure don't want to incorporate it into my existence. And everybody else should want that too, at least in my ideals, because we're being slaughtered. It's not even a slow kill anymore because they'll just ramp up the I can't say wattage because I'm not a scientist, but so what is the difference between the 4G and the 5G?
5G is for telecoms. 5G is a weapon. 4G is a telecom communication system, and it's quite an interesting piece of kit. It's pretty dangerous. But it's not going to kill you immediately. Probably reduce your life expectancy quite a bit. Just because it's all about exposure over time. Anybody that's exposed to these type of radiation signals, it's all an accumulative radiation poisoning. All right, so you've got to build up accumulation. A lot of it depends on your DNA, your blood group, what you eat, how you live. So obviously this exposure, if you don't have a very good sort of diet, if you haven't got very good DNA, it can kill you pretty quickly. If you've got good DNA, you've got a good blood group, you've got really good diets, then it's going to kill you less quickly. But whatever people understand about microwave radiation in air is deleterious to life. So if, let's say, I was going to say, let's say I live a really good life and my life expectancy is 95 or 100, say, and I expose myself to a lot of microwave radiation, well, I'm gonna die when I'm 80. It's gonna knock 20 years off your life. Let's for just a rough guesstimation. Right? This isn't scientific, but just roughly guessing. But so anybody exposed to this type of radiation, and I'm not saying that technology doesn't save lives, it does. And I'm a technologist. I'm not a Luddite. I'm a technologist, so I believe in technology. What I'm saying is there's a difference between risk that you can afford to take and then risk that you can't afford to take. And these technologies are a risk too far. They're untested, unregulated, illegal, and the reason for that of a battlefield. If people want to have brain injury, people want to have neurological disorders, if people want to get cancer in their 15, 20-year-old, 30-year-old, diabetes at 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 6-year-old, people want those illnesses. If you want to carry those illnesses, just carry on with microwave radiation in air. It doesn't have to be like that. Telecoms companies have decided it's going to be like that. Your government's decided it's going to be like that because it's cheap, it's easy, but it's not safe.
Well, there's a certain amount of footage too, right, that it can travel. So if you're in the house with it, then it's traveling in I'd say maybe an 8-foot or so band. I don't know. But I don't even like being in the house, and people use it around here. It's disgusting. But otherwise, the outside ones on the poles, they would have to emit quite a wider band to affect everybody and then go through the things like the walls and that and the trees that they cut down to make easier access. So you're taking all life away to create a death trap. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, some of these transmitters can transmit very long distances. It depends on the frequency and it depends on the antenna design. But they're normally a little bit more powerful than what the manufacturer states. They always underestimate the levels of radiation that they emit. The whole thing's just, we're in a bit of a mess, let's be honest. And the reason why we're in a mess is through corruption at state level, corruption in councils, corruption in central government, where people have been paid off to allow this technology.
Or threatened.
Yeah. And that's what's happening, Mona.
There's a lot of that going on. Well, I'm really pleased that there are others who are looking for your knowledge in this country, because that gives hope. Because I want to see a better tomorrow. I want to see a cleaner today,
Yeah.
So how is the area that you're in? Are you getting close to spring? Are you seeing anything but that should be normal?
That's not normal. Nothing's normal anymore, is it?
No, I was just thinking of the generations of ducks we lost over the last 2 years because there are 3 towers within a mile of each other. And they have all that big major equipment. And then the grocery stores have to be right there. And the police shop. And how much they're wearing. They don't even realize what they're doing to themselves.
Yeah, I know. They'll all die. They're dying, that's what they're doing. The police aren't going to get their pensions.
Well, yeah, but the whole thing is we're not going to get by citizens brain smart individuals. Because it's melting their brains. Everything that has water in it's being microwaved. Just like you were saying, it's destroying the whole basic concept of life. Go ahead.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah.
So, well, we've got different polices around here. I don't know how it is in your area, but every cop here wears a gun. And they think they are allowed to use it no matter what.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a few different and I like guns. I don't have a problem with that. And I've known some really decent police officers or coppers or whatever you want to call them. But the new ones that I've had to deal with have had chips on their shoulders, and they've got microphones and antennas on them because they got to be connected to the car and to the precinct and and they don't even realize what's happening to their bodies.
This agitation, aggravation. They get pretty agitated and aggravated when you've got these transmitters attached to you. They change your demeanor You know, you go from a normal person to an agitated lunatic. I'm pretty sure any firearms officer who, was basically had his finger on the trigger, and you could pulse the right sort of radiation of that thing, you could get him to pull the trigger. I spoke to firearms officers and I said I would use it as a defence in law. As a defence, the fact that they've got you
remote controlled. At least that's what it sounded like, like he was remote controlled.
Yeah.
And what they've done to the military. I want to give everybody a big hug, get your heads out of your asses, and let's make this change. We've got to support each other we're not conspiracy theorists. I'm hearing it straight from not the inventor of this thing, but he knows what it is to invent it and what it takes to create it. And he says it's wrong, out to kill us, and that they should be in front of the Geneva Convention, all of them. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be something? I wonder how the UN thinks about it. No, I don't. I don't trust the UN.
The United Nations believers are supposed to be having a meeting very shortly on the back of the congressional hearing, which shows that this is most certainly an indictable. 5G is an indictable offence. Anybody listening to this, contact anybody, believers that go into prison. Anybody involved in it, going to prison. Make no mistake about it, right? This is an offence. This is a crime against humanity. There's no research to show that this is safe. It is an indictable offence. And anybody involved, anybody who's got 5G on their website, you are taking a massive risk. Anybody involved in this deployment, you are taking your liberty at risk. We are taking action against individuals and organisations who are involved in this. I've got a full legal team. We're already orchestrating and organising the funds to take these to task. And the people who are behind us, very wealthy people who are concerned about their lifestyle and their life expectancy, where they made the mistake, they've rolled some of this technology out in some of the very, very wealthy parts of London. I mean, the really wealthy parts of London where properties can sell for, 100 million pounds. So a lot of people live there. They're being spied on in their homes. They're not happy.
Exactly, and I congratulate that. I love good karma. Because if they can see life and be supportive of the effort, then I just want to hand out hugs. Because we really need it. I just don't even want to think about how slow already the citizens are of the state I live in. Not all of them, but a lot of them. The basic ones. They're also falling for the magazine ads and the TV commercials and things like that. And they don't even realize the damage that that's doing. Because they're all set in their ways. It's like, ugh. But we can support you too. You have a GoFundMe page, right?
I do, that's right, Mona. Yeah. Do you want me to send you the link to that?
If you would, because then I'll share it. But also, if you say it on the air, maybe there'll be a few that can help right now.
Yeah, it's GoFundMe. It's the if anybody types into Google 5G, it's the GoFundMe. Stop them sending me to jail. 5G is a crime. Support the legal fight back. One of the things, obviously, I've got two cases ongoing. I've got a civil case and a criminal case. I've got a criminal case appeal. But we're now going to start going on the offensive because the evidence is absolutely damning. 5G is most certainly an indictable offence. Sent the link to you then, Mona. 5G is an indictable offence. It's time to take the criminals to task. We're not going to sit back and have these people abuse us the way that they feel that they just can treat us like cattle and they can abuse mankind. It's not happening, so we're not having it. So it's time for the fight back.
I don't doubt that in the least. That's why I don't mind ever having you on to communicate the next steps that are going on, because it's most vital. I don't want life to be gone. I mean, Oh gosh, but I do want to bring up in case, just because I have found things that have helped me. See, that's Shungite. So cosmicreality.net, Shungite. There are ways to help out, but we got to stop it from not getting any deeper or stronger against us.
Exactly. Well, the 5G, obviously, there's a lot of things you can use to mitigate the background radiation levels from these transmitters. But what you can't do, you can't mitigate the weapon. Now, that weapon's going to be fully operational by 2021, and believe you me, this will take down the Earth. It's to terraform the whole Earth. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. It really scares me. But I'm not one to scare real easy, so... Oh, gosh. It's... like, I want my children, my great-grandson, to be able to go and see alligator in the swamp, you know, if he wanted to. Not see it in a picture book and assume that it's there now, because we assume too much to think we have time to keep effing wasting.
I know.
I mean, honestly, just... Right. So I'm very thankful that you joined me today. We've got at least, I'd say, 6 minutes. So get off or out there the most important, vital information you think that they need to hear right now.
The most vital information, go to Save Us Now's page, download the document and start getting it out across where we can start basically threatening people with illegal action. Is an indictable offence. Fact. No ifs, no buts. Congress have shown there's no scientific evidence to say it's safe. That means it's in breach of the Nuremberg Code. That means it's a human rights crime. It is an indictable offence. Genocide is an indictable offence across the world. This is international and domestic laws that have been broken here. We can act. These people, and what we have to do is go after the little guys first. Once they understand that they themselves, directors and companies, will lose their livelihoods, will lose their pensions, will lose their homes and be imprisoned if they carry on with this crime. The misinformation by the mainstream media is a crime. 5G is a crime. We know it to be a crime. It's been covered, the fact it's a crime. So anybody that says it isn't needs to be taken to task, whether it be a journalist, media group, whoever, because obviously these mainstream media are a bunch of liars and deceivers. We need to make sure those individuals know that this is a humanitarian crime. It's like this is like covering up the Holocaust, and this is playing out in front of us, right, where it's mass genocide. Millions will die from the LED streetlights that have already been fitted.
Oh, it's hundreds of millions.
Millions, hundreds of millions, and millions will die from the 5G. That's without it being weaponized.
Well, they're already dying. It's not going to be a one-moment thing. It's happening now, and that's why it needs most adamant to be stopped.
Absolutely happening now. Yeah, we're seeing that. We saw there was 4 deaths in a little village not far from me who have 5G. Very inexplicable. People all under 50. A woman, a 36-year-old, dropped down dead in the street. Adult death syndrome, that's what they said it was. I can show this microwave radiation will absolutely obliterate the ventricles in your heart to kill you.
Oh, I'm exasperated by it. Seriously. And I'm really, again, thankful that we're getting the word out again and again and again, because it's not just here in America. It's going to be everywhere. I think India is the next place that supposedly, and there's so much that they need to know. Hell, they fell for Monsanto, and they all ended up committing suicide because their crops were screwed over and screwed up.
Yeah.
So, and then anything that Bill Gates has, I'm sure he's all for it. He just sterilized and produced AIDS in the African nations. I mean, we've got to start realizing that everything they tell us is in our and for our favor is an out-and-out lie. It's a broken illusion in this matrix, and we need to wake up and see that we have to stand up and make a difference. That's all there is to it. Yeah. Yeah, I got my old hat back on. Just because it doesn't matter. It's a good day to die. I don't have an issue with anything except that they're doing this. And if I have to come back from the other side, I'm probably going to have a legion behind me. So, hey, watch what you think or do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mona, the monsters who are behind this will burn in hell for all eternity.
Yeah, well, hell's right now, and I'm burning in theirs, and I don't effing like it. And I think it needs to be stopped. I want to be able to see a child see a butterfly on a wildflower, okay?
Yeah.
And then the birds can come, and then, hey. But, because I'm bird-brained. I love birds. I get freaked out if the birds don't get bird food, et cetera,
All the birds, wiped out. All the small birds. We don't have any small birds, all dead. The only birds we see now is larger birds, crows, seagulls, pigeons.
Yeah, they're going to start going after your pets because there's no other food.
I was in London and Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square was always famous for pigeons. There's absolutely none. There wasn't a single pigeon in Trafalgar Square. Not one. Not one.
All right, Marky Poo, we are at the end of the show. I want to thank you for your hour, and don't hesitate to just tap me on the shoulder and let me know you need on, okay?
I will do. Thanks for that, Mona. Appreciate that. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, guys.
We're getting the word out, trust me. Try to follow through with the other things that happen around you. I really send in big hugs. Later!
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, fingers and or toes often go cold, arms and or legs often go to sleep, sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe, short walks cause cramping or pains in legs, memory is not as good as it used to be, ankles swell late in the day, chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and FreedomSlips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, FreedomSlips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host. Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Any commercial advertising you may hear in this program is of the sole discretion and benefit of the host of whose program you are listening to. Revolution Radio does not endorse any